would say we're rocking at least 7 to 8.
7 to 8
No,
inches.
3.5 per.
Yeah.
Per. So
I thought you were trying to be ratchet. You
could
said
put
3.5 per. If you just watch that clip out of context where you don't get anything about the forehead, I want that to be a soundbite. Josh being like 3.5 per.
Claymation.
this is a fun run. Yeah.
Chicken run.
Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We forgot the cheese.
What is that?
We forgot the cheese, Gromit. You remember?
Yeah. I
Wallace and
remember.
Gromit?
Yeah,
I remember that.
You guys remember? You Brits know. You guys know. You're with me.
And I just noticed his tie. That is awesome.
Oh, it's an hourglass
didn't-
and bullets.
I did not
And
notice
a
that until you
tie.
pulled it up, and that is sick.
pretty cool.
Time is running out.
No.
That is a little stretch, a little much of a stretch, but that is cool for the time.
Time is running out.
That's a really cool.
Sean Connery was a dog.
Connery has such a unique charm to him. You want to kiss him right now.
Dude, I can't take it.
Welcome back to the Wacky Wonderful Wise Works podcast.
Oh, man.
Guys, gals, geeks, goofballs, we welcome all.
At this side of the table, we have hats.
We
On this
welcome-
side of the table, we have forehead.
We also introduced the mothballs, too.
Yeah.
Because there's goofballs and mothballs.
Sure.
What mothballs are
Sure.
listening to this podcast?
You know what?
You weirdo.
No, sure. Good one.
Yeah.
Mothballs.
You said I breezed over your joke of forehead.
I want to
I
say,
wanted to make my
I wanna
joke
say
that I
for
was thinking
foreheads,
about.
You got to be faster.
We all got pretty decent foreheads.
We
got
got
strong
decent-
foreheads.
Good, line. Good.
How many inches do you think we're rocking up there?
Collectively?
Yeah.
Collectively?
Yeah. Put
Collectively?
Put
4 inch? 4 inch?
I would
3.5?
I would say we're rocking at least 7 to 8.
7 to 8
No,
inches.
3.5 per.
Yeah.
Per. So times 3.
Maybe 9.
There's some
So
people in
9
this
inch?
world.
Like ice skating uphill.
No, that.
I thought you were trying to be
you could-
ratchet.
you
You
could
said
put
3.5 per.
What this fucking it was like
If you just watch that clip out of context where you don't get anything about the forehead,
There's.
I want that to be a soundbite. Josh being like 3.5 per.
why we were going somewhere and it just derailed. The train just said nope.
I'm a papa. Give me
Yeah,
class.
You are
we
a
talked
papa.
we talked about this a lot on the pre-show, but
But the pre-show's behind a paywall.
Papa.
I'm a papa. I got a little baby
Josie
girl.
Elizabeth,
Josie
Ciao,
Elizabeth. Josephine.
Papa.
Josephine.
Oh,
Papa, time has come to say farewell.
Covered in caca.
Hey. But yeah, I'm a daddy. Should I go by daddy? Should I go by dad? Should I go by pop?
You skipped over
should I
the
go by
dad
Pa?
phase and
Papa.
wait a minute.
Papa?
Papa.
No, we've been calling him Grandpa Joe,
I'm not a grandpa.
but he's a dad now. So maybe we should call him Daddy Joe.
Big Daddy Joe.
Daddy Joe. Call him
Can
that
we
in
call you
public.
Big Daddy?
Daddy Joe.
I like it when you call me Big Papa. I'm good with Big Papa.
You'll
No.
end up with it'll be Dad.
You think?
Yeah, it'll be Dad. Nobody says Papa or Pa.
Pa.
Yeah, nobody says that
Pa.
anymore.
Yeah, people will say
And
pa.
your kid's going to school and she's like, my Papa dropped me off.
My pa.
I think she's like a little Italian child. My Papa.
Or a Mennonite.
Yeah, Papa.
Yeah, or a Mennonite.
There's
Papa.
I mean, I feel like we've always had crazy kind of joking names with, our mom hardcore said, no mama. She said the A, we're getting rid of that.
She
Y'all grew up in Pennsylvania.
But she is thinking outside of the
Yeah,
box. She
she's
doesn't know if
from
she wants
Pennsylvania.
grandma. She don't know if
what
she wants
about
grandma.
Ma?
What is
She's Italian. Ma. Hey, Ma.
That's
Come
kind
on,
of
Ma.
what
We love you, Ma.
Yeah.
we kind of, no, it's more,
What are you
I
trying to
don't
say?
know. I'm just trying to think of
say
how
mom.
I
You guys
recollect
say mom and
why
dad.
how I do it naturally.
I say mom or ma. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I say that.
Yeah.
I'm from the South. I say mama and daddy.
Mama and daddy.
Mama and daddy.
That's what I'm saying. Should I go daddy? I'm not gonna go daddy. I'm gonna go. If I go daddy, it's gonna be daddy.
She's your first kid, and a girl. She'll call you daddy. She'll call you daddy. Yeah,
Dad.
she'll call you daddy.
I think I prefer Pa.
So there is a thing, and I've noticed this, where like the older siblings do something and they stick to that for a while. And then as you have more kids, they kind of change how like they say things.
Right. And the youngers change it first. And then the
Youngers.
old follow.
Yep.
Which means you and Jamark been calling you a daddy for a long time.
Yeah, but
Until
so
William starts calling him dad, and then slowly you'll migrate.
he doesn't though.
He will.
He's 10 years old and he doesn't.
He will, though. It
No, he
takes
won't.
about the age 14.
And no,
for you
he
to
won't
grow out of
because
it.
there's
Probably not.
there's 5 other
Probably
kids
not.
ahead of him that consistently and
It
always
depends
say
on-
mama and daddy.
Yeah. How William is getting into his
Well, then you're
years.
just disrupting Joshua's entire theory. So
That-
what was the
that's
point
my
of the past
theory.
3 minutes?
I don't know.
Because Wyatt's just gonna say,
I'm just
"Okay."
saying. You're right. I think the younger ones do form a new kind of pattern, but there's so many of us, and we're always around our parents that it doesn't really have time to change.
Right.
He doesn't change it. I think
He's
it's-
not given the opportunity.
Yeah.
I was just thinking this week about how slow time moves as a kid. It feels okay from age of when you start remembering things. What 6, 7?
Yeah.
When you start having your earliest memories that you retain, till you get to like 15, that feels wow.
It feels like a long
time. But
Yeah. Move slow.
imagine going from 20, or let's just say, imagine going from 18 to 25 or 26.
now I'm like-
it's like,
It's like I'm never gonna have kids. I gotta get married right now.
yeah. I'm gonna be too old.
I was telling somebody this the other day.
I was just thinking, Josie's this first decade's gonna be so long for her.
And I was trying to describe it as, I think I said, the years feel long, but the days feel short. No, excuse me. Yeah, no,
Days
that's
are
right.
long, years are short.
Years are long, days are short.
You think right now?
Yeah,
Years don't feel long to me.
Yeah, see,
we do a lot.
The days
we do a
feel
lot.
long,
Like
but the years feel short.
if you try to look at our podcast and like look at previous episodes and be like, wow, we did that 2 months ago. That feels so long ago. But
Really?
then like a day goes by and we record and it's like, just we record. It feels fast. Yeah.
Now,
See-
I'm worried it's just gonna completely disappear behind me.
She's a baby now,
Right.
and you're gonna wake up tomorrow and she's gonna be 18 years old.
Don't.
Why
I'm
are you
telling
doing
you,
this to me?
I was talking to my dad and I was like, "Isn't it crazy? Lydia's gonna be turning 19 this year," and he goes 20. I was like, what? I'm like, what?
Which means
20?
she's already within marrying age.
She's within marrying age for the last 2 years.
Exactly.
18,
But
19.
when you hit 20, now she's got the expectation of marriage on her head. In the South,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we expect her to go, set up
insane to
shop
me.
in some
That's insane
dude's
to me.
life.
Right.
But,
At the age of 21, which is in a year.
That's insane to me.
Kenzie was 21 when you got married.
That's insane to me.
I almost think Maddie will be married before Lydia.
She's
That's
more
insane
motherly.
to me.
Yeah, she really is.
She's more a homebody.
Homebody.
Homely lady.
Maddie will have 16 kids.
But Maddie has a few years. She's only like 17, right?
Yeah, 16.
16. So she doesn't have that
Which
expectation
means,
for like another,
according to Wyatt, she's
another
probably 17.
4 or 5
Yeah,
years.
she could be 17. Now she's a day younger. Her birthday's a day before mine, so I'm pretty sure she's 16.
Okay.
Don't you guys wish, to coin your term, that some woman would just eyeball one of you guys and try to set up shop in your life?
So
No,
our
I
first
don't
segment
wanna-
is
I don't want a woman to set up shop in my life. I want to set up shop in some woman's life.
That's
I want
harder.
her to be successful.
That's harder to do.
She's successful, so I can do this.
Well, that's harder to do, man. It's harder for a guy to set up shop in a woman's life. You usually are successful.
I'm trying to flip the script.
A marriage or a relationship usually works because the woman chose to set up shop. Mm-hmm. That's just the fact.
We're in
of
a
it.
new age, though.
I think it depends on who the individual is.
Depends. If you were in the 1920s, yeah, the men had to set up shop.
Yeah.
But in
Right.
today's world, like, it works more effectively.
It depends.
Like, if you try to set up shop, you'll get in a relationship, but that relationship might not last because it wasn't their choice initially,
Yeah.
right?
Why are we
I don't
going
know.
so
Some
deep with
ladies
this?
might want a guy like Josh to just set up
And
shop.
that's what I'm saying. She's
They
gonna have
get
to
to
set
pay-
up.
That's a joke.
Wait, we
David.
already know. We already know. Joshua's not gonna set up shop in nobody's life. They're gonna have to set up in his.
Yeah.
That's gonna have to be it. Because Joshua doesn't have the personality. He's not a go-getter. You're not a go-getter.
That's not true.
All right.
That's not
Prove
true.
me wrong. I want to see you start to build them 4 walls around the life of some young lady.
I just
I
you
don't.
see me
I'm
building actual
losing.
physical
I'm losing
walls.
the. We're losing the.
Yeah, the analogy's
the
lost.
analogy here. Is
No,
he
it's not.
wait? Is he setting up shop in her life
That's
and
what-
she's leading, or is it the other way around?
I'm saying Josh was saying he can lead and go set up shop.
Yeah, I think
And I'm
so.
saying Joshua will probably only have a successful relationship and marriage if she chooses to set up shop in his life.
So he's paying all the bills.
Yeah, basically.
Dang. Sorry, man.
And also he needs a woman who's gonna go get him.
Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see exactly.
I
You could be
have an
eating your
answer
own
to
words.
this, but our first segment is a little bit lonely, so we need to set
All
up
right.
set up 4 walls around that segment.
All right,
Okay, so
Nice segue.
that was not bad.
I'm being sarcastic.
there's 4 elements. Fire. I forgot the element.
He doesn't know the order either. If you start with fire, what comes next?
There's 4 elements, and there's a TV show around it.
Try, freaking try.
Which one starts? Just give me the first one.
There's a specific order that
Yes.
they
Have
go
Give
you
me the
in.
really
first one.
forgotten all 4
I
elements?
don't know what order they
If
go
you
in.
start
as.
with fire, it's fire, air, water, earth.
fire,
Earth, fire,
yeah,
air,
that one,
water.
that.
They have it's a cycle.
But Netflix is planning on doing a live action show. We have talked about this in the past, but I'm bringing it up again because there was a
Is this a legit poster or a
I
fan
think
made
so.
poster?
I think this is a legit poster. I don't.
Okay.
I think this is.
I don't know that I like his arrow. It's not a solid
No.
blue. They did that in the Shyamalan film, where it wasn't solid.
Maybe that's
I
why.
like
Maybe
for
that's
it to
why
be
Dave
solid.
Filoni was like, "No, I'm not involved with this,"
Right.
because you're doing all the same things Shyamalan did.
Yeah, I like for it to be solid. I like the solid arrow.
Okay, I'm looking at this and I'm already seeing Aang doesn't have enough personality already.
I don't know.
There's not enough
why are we harping
personality
on
in
the,
the face.
the poster? I don't know if this
We're
is fan made
reacting
or
to
not.
the poster.
No, we're reacting to the short clip.
Okay.
So I honestly don't know if this is fan made or not. I don't want to bring light to this because I don't know. What we're reacting to is this video. So the stunt team for the show came up with a rough, I would say short film. I would just call it that.
Proof of concept.
Yeah,
Yes.
proof of concept.
Of
Testing footage.
how they're going to be doing fight scenes and stuff for the show.
Right.
And this is not the girl who's going to be playing Toph, but that's how you pronounce
Toph?
it. Toph.
It's with a PH.
Okay. Toph, but this is another stunt individual that non-binary.
Get to
No,
the point.
she actually looks like she could play Toph.
She looks like a
could,
good
but
one.
it's not the actor
Yeah.
who's playing
All
Toph.
right, let's go ahead and react to this.
Yes, let's just watch it and
Here we go.
We'll get
Sick.
Nice. Very good. Well, they got that Kung Fu Panda music.
Yeah.
But this is the arena scene with the boulder.
It is kind of, isn't it?
It is. I've seen the show enough. It is. Boom, 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 boom. Awesome.
Nice.
This is the exact scene.
cool.
Very cool. Yeah.
Get it. Let's go, Toph. Ooh.
That was sick.
Come on.
Yes.
Nice.
If the M. Night Shyamalan movie looked like this with this animation as bad as it is,
It still looked good.
I was sitting here like, yeah, get it. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was
What
fun.
was that noise you made?
It was an excited one.
went-
That's fun.
That was awesome. That was so sick.
I'm glad they gave us
with
that to
as
us.
with as low quality as the animation
Yeah.
is, I was still digging it.
I was too.
Yep.
The
It did-
animation looked
And
like
you get
it
a
could
little
be
bit
from
if
Rotoscope.
you get her fighting some firebenders.
Yeah.
It
so
was a
each
few-
each element has different style how they fight. That was more Earth.
Which is
so-
very grounded.
Yeah,
you
so-
want Earth to be
yeah.
very, boom, boom,
Forceful.
boom,
Which is the point.
boom, boom.
It's about strength.
Whereas water is
About power.
It's about-
redirecting.
We
Air
devour?
is moving.
Right.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it.
Yes, I think this is a really cool concept. There's with the cinematography, like the editing, it got confusing in like 2 or 3 points.
It's
like
because-
it broke up the fight in your mind because
Yeah.
you're like, oh, that movement, like I lost the motivation for
Because
it.
we're following they were
Yeah, a shot for
mimicking the
shot.
cartoon almost shot for shot.
Right.
And in the cartoon it works. You know what's happening, you know where everybody is. Live action for some reason
It was like too fast.
too fast.
So
Cuts were
that's
too
something maybe
fast.
we're a little concerned about. Of Cowboy Bebop did shot for shot the whole show. It was
It did well, some of it.
It was very mimicky of the.
If their storytelling is decent and they follow the show well, filling in or taking out what they need to make this work, but all of the fight scenes don't need to be shot for shot.
No, they don't, no.
If they do some shot for shot things, I'm really looking like that scene in the arena should be relatively similar if you're gonna do something like that. But making up some new stuff is interesting. Like there's one part in the arena scene where she does this with her hand, whoop-ah, and then 4 earth spikes come out. They didn't do that in this. They obviously changed.
I mean, that was only 50 seconds of it.
Right. But if they're doing stuff like that, we're seeing fight scenes like that are similar to the show, somewhat different, but they follow a same flow that what we expect, then yeah, I can see enjoying it.
I do too. I feel like Netflix is a wild card.
Yes.
If this was being done by Disney, it would be trash.
It's 100% probably trash. If it were HBO, it's probably
Middle of the road.
We don't know.
We don't know. If it's HBO, we definitely don't know. Netflix leans towards more trash, but still kind of middle of the road because they're still producing things like Stranger Things, which that last season.
Yeah,
was
this could
awesome.
be super cartoony and not good, or it could be incredible. Like Arcane.
Exactly. I mean, Shadow and Bone's not incredible, but it's interesting for the fans who like the story.
Now we know that Netflix also does really bad live action anime adaptations.
Yes.
If you've seen Full Metal Alchemist, if you've seen Death Note,
Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop, bad.
So.
But this is not an anime.
True. It's not technically an anime, but Netflix
Yeah, I would
has
say
a
it leans
tendency
more to it.
Netflix has a tendency to take a intellectual property that has a built-in fan base, and then proceed to try to sell it back to you in a worse manner.
Do you think Netflix doing all these live action anime shows is Netflix version of Disney live action, like Little Mermaid, or
Kinda. It feels like it.
Yeah,
Feels like it.
Somewhat. But the thing is, I think the fans have been wanting. I'm a brand new fan, I guess, of Avatar: The Last Airbender. For a long time, I feel like fans have been wanting an awesome live action of the show.
Yeah.
The
But
problem
we've
is we
also-
just don't know if it
can't-
can be done, right?
yeah. There's also an aspect of people not wanting to touch it because of M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, he blacklisted the series
Yeah.
or the story from live action.
I'm
for
just
a
saying,
minute.
I think this story has been done very well as a cartoon. Maybe do a live action in this world of, I don't know, something else. Avatar Kyoshi, Avatar Roku.
They did that with The Witcher, and it didn't land.
Yeah, but the people directing The Witcher were
And
didn't know what they were
We
doing.
don't know about the people with this show either.
right. And we do know with this show that the original creators left the project early on.
Right.
Yeah.
So
we don't know, and I think it was confirmed that they had creative differences. I think that's confirmed.
That is concerning. I think I lean towards concerning.
I'm very
We'll see.
interested because there are people, very few, but there are creators that can say, I have a vision for Avatar The Last Airbender that Dave Filoni or other people that were involved might say I disagree with, but I tend to like the other person's version better. That could be the case. It's not as much the case.
So we're cautiously optimistic.
Cautiously.
Okay.
Yeah, cautiously.
Yeah. Good.
Now, I think this can be a bright spot in our year. Is it coming out this year or next year?
Next year.
Well, this can be a bright spot to look forward to, and if it's really bad, then it's just going to be a monstrosity of a letdown.
Yeah.
Okay? But we can look forward to this for now. The same way we looked forward to what was it? We talked a lot about some things on the studio channel that we were looking forward to, and then
Last
it came
of Us.
crash and burn. Last of Us was kind of...
Lord of the Rings.
It was Lord of the Rings, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. I think Lord of the Rings, before the trailers were dropping, we were looking
Thinking
forward
about some
to it.
Marvel projects.
There's a lot of stuff we look forward to and then disappointed by. But we can look forward to this. Why not? Let's give it a chance. And if
Whose eyes
let's
are
give
in
it
the
a go.
background? I didn't know.
That's the Fire Lords.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
100%.
100.
100% that's the Fire Lords.
Yeah.
You
I
got-
think this is a fan-made trailer.
Yeah.
Poster?
Well,
trailer?
poster. Yeah, I think this is a fan-made
It
poster.
could be. It could be. I was just trying to use it as a
I mean, it's
placeholder for the video.
It's got good composition: fire, water, air. No Toph, so no Earth, but
But Toph ain't going to be
Sokka's
in the
out at
first
the bottom.
season. The first season might not even cover the first season of the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably going to be a little bit before. So I think they're doing a lot of groundwork, too much groundwork. Anywho, I'm let's wait and find out.
Okay.
And that's all I have to say about it. Anything else?
No.
There was actually somebody recently that told Kenzie, it's one of her friends, they were watching a show at our place, and they would say things like, I really liked the show, or what did you think about the show? And I would talk about it. And I did it a couple times, and then word comes back around to me, and they said, I don't think I could watch a show with Joe. And then I'm
you don't
like,
agree with
why?
them?
No, it's because they said, because I like a show, and then when I hear him talk about it, I like it less.
Hear them talk about it?
Yeah, when they hear me talk about it, the show, and my thoughts on it, they like it less after I talk about it.
And
so
It's because they're feeding into
Which means
what
I'm not
They're
wrong.
being spoon-fed.
yeah,
which means I'm not
yeah,
wrong.
it means they're being spoon-fed entertainment, and they haven't trained themselves to.
Well, I don't think they-
be discerning about entertainment.
I don't
whereas
think they have
you
they have a desire to train
That's
themselves.
fine. That's fine. Look, you can like trash bad entertainment and not look forward to anything good or enjoyable. Everybody does it with something. You may like bad coffee in like
Folgers.
Sheesh.
yeah.
You like bad
I
coffee.
like bad coffee. Some people like that kind of stuff. That's fine.
But for us, we do
We
this.
like good entertainment.
We try to do this
We enjoy good
professionally.
entertainment.
And
Yeah.
so we're going to talk bad about it, and we're not going to like things that are trash.
And it's not even talking bad necessarily. It's just pointing out objectively bad parts of things that we may enjoy.
Like, so I finished the You show. It came out on
Mm-hmm.
Netflix. I liked almost all of it, but my biggest problem with the way it ended is it did the same thing Glass Onion does, and this is the problem I have with a lot of recent mystery films or stories, is they make it impossible for the audience to figure out what's going on until it's revealed to them.
Yeah.
All older
you like to
stories,
figure it out.
like it's like a game of Clue. Like if you can piece it together and start putting things together, but these more recent stories just give you a twist that's M. Night Shyamalan level, but had no indication before then that it was leading to that.
Even
Glass Onion did the same
Murder
thing.
on the Murder on the Nile.
Same situation.
The same. Well, I don't know. I think Murder on the Nile was better, where you could come to some conclusions on your own because they gave you a lot of information. They gave you a lot of clues up front that you could, by the middle of the movie, be like, okay, I have a prediction.
But the prediction,
And you could have been really close. Like I predicted it middle of the movie, knew exactly what it was.
but it was different.
No, it was pretty much the
It's
same.
kind of close, but
It was basically what I said.
Yeah.
There's always going to be some little things if you're not picking up on everything.
Mm-hmm.
But usually with the first one, with the second one, whether you like them or not, you can kind of pick up based on the clues what's sort of going to happen.
right.
Glass Onion didn't do that.
You can't, and the same thing with the end of the U, right? So the first half of U season 4 was incredible, and most of the second half was really fun and enjoyable and interesting. But the second half showed you that all of the groundwork has been smoke and mirrors, completely making it impossible for you to figure out the twist that's coming afterward because it came out of left field, right? Yeah. And so all of a sudden the story fundamentally changes from the direction you thought. I just don't like
so
that.
out of
Leave
left field,
clues.
it came out of right field. You were expecting it to come out of left field.
Went around.
And it
Turned
came
so hard left that you went right.
Yeah, it came from the dugout.
It's from Cars.
Yeah. I'm just saying, stop doing that. You know,
Stop it.
stop making.
Get some help.
That's right. Look, we need. If you're doing mystery, if you're doing whodunits, freaking leave clues the way real world would. Leave clues.
Okay.
Figure it out.
I'll do it.
Let people
I'll go get clues.
stop masking it so you can feel smarter than the audience every time. Right? As filmmakers and writers.
Bet you guys didn't expect this.
It's like, yeah, I sure didn't.
No, because I didn't have
wacky.
any of that information. I didn't know there was a twin.
I don't think it's them saying they're smarter. I think it's just people who are writing these stories aren't good at taking you on a journey of you can figure it out throughout, and they're not clever
know how
enough
to-
to write
yeah.
those.
They don't know how to
people-
write a journey
Joe
for
said
you.
earlier, people who are watching these aren't clever enough to figure it out. They're just watching
Hold on.
it. They're watching it.
We're not talking about the person I was representing.
No.
I'm not
and
bashing
we're
that person. That's a
we're
great
saying,
person.
no. You're watching it to watch it as
Right.
entertainment. You're not trying to necessarily figure out what's going on. I'm not saying everybody's not watching it the way I'm watching it.
Right.
I mean, my family can attest. We watch Glass Onion together, and I'm sitting there the entire time trying to figure out what's going on, making guesses, making
And it doesn't turn.
predictions, and it doesn't turn out. But that's the way I watch it.
Right. That's why people who enjoy those movies watch it. So if you're,
But they're not making them for the people who
they're making for mass audiences
Yeah.
who aren't thinking about that.
Exactly.
And I don't like that style.
Like, oh yeah, wow, that was pretty good.
We went on a weird rabbit hole.
Well, think about
This
the
has nothing to do with
Prestige.
the episode.
Think about the Prestige, where you talked about the twin, right?
Yeah.
Early in the
figured it
film,
out.
Michael Caine says, I don't know how he's doing it, but for sure he has a double. He's definitely got a double, right? And then you go through this long journey of him trying to figure out how he does it without a double. And then it turns out he did have a double.
Even middle of the movie, I was looking at the twin, the double, and being like, "There's something about this guy. He's always around." And if I really looked at his eyes, I'd have been like, "That's Christian Bale too," or not Christian. Yeah, it was Christian Bale.
Bale, right.
I was like, "That's him. That's him as
You
well."
spoiled it for everybody, but yeah.
If you haven't seen the Prestige
came out in, like,
already,
2006.
Yeah.
then
It's a great movie.
whatever. I'd have been like, but I didn't figure it out.
Yeah.
But all the clues were there.
All of them. And the thing is, the film is like saying, this is what's coming. And then it goes through a journey of trying to prove to you that's not
And
what
that's
is
what
happening.
that's what
and then
it
the twist
means.
is, no, it actually is
That's
just
what
that.
it means to be a
You know?
magician, is misdirection. Show everything up front, and then nobody expects it when the Prestige happens.
Exactly.
And that's what the whole movie is.
All
and
mysteries should be formatted like a magic trick. Mm-hmm. Christopher Nolan had it right early.
Yeah.
Back in the mid-2000s, he knew what he was doing. Freaking magic tricks and mystery stories go hand in hand. Think about it that
They
way.
better not make another magic story because they would ruin it.
I don't know. Did you watch Now You See Me? Did you watch that?
I think I've watched
That was
both
pretty
of those,
fun.
and I don't remember what happens.
Yes.
They're forgettable,
Yes.
but they're fun.
I
It
will
is,
say
yeah.
the vault scene in the second movie is really fun to watch. It's
But
a very interesting
They
scene.
do some of the tricks in that movie, but most of them are just. It's a animated card. They're not actually doing it.
No, they're not.
Are you
but
talking
it's
about
fun
Now
to
You
watch.
See Me?
Yes.
Oh, the one with like Morgan Freeman and all of them.
Yes.
It is a little forgettable, but it's basically magicians and heists. That's the movie.
Yeah. It's
I'd
too
rather.
much
I
heist.
would rather watch a heist movie.
I don't know. Magicians
I'd rather watch
plus
Ocean's
heists
11.
are fun.
They're hand in hand. It's taking a heist movie.
I don't
want to
see. I don't want to watch.
into
Jesse Eisenberg being heist magician guy.
I like it.
I'd rather
I love
watch Brad
magic.
Pitt, George Clooney.
You just want some handsome men doing
You just
heists.
want.
I wanna see-
Brad Pitt eating that burrito.
I want to
again.
see what's his face doing a bad British accent.
Good grief, man. Let's move on to the Patreon. The Patreon shout out. Shelby. That's right.
Same wavelength.
Hey, thank you, Shelby, for being a Patreon supporter. Look, we are currently drafting more Patreon supporters.
Huh?
I don't know.
Are you
Calling them out.
Oh, I thought, it sounded like you were building them in your shed or something. Like
Drafting. Like a military draft.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Which
thought you were talking
apparently
like
Josh
drafting,
fears.
Yeah, you're definitely
no,
afraid.
this is not a podcast topic.
Hold on, you're 25. You can't be drafted no mo.
Let's
We'll
let's
talk
not
about
talk
this.
about this on the
We'll talk about
podcast
this later.
This is not a podcast
Isn't
topic.
that crazy that the military just
No.
drafts children?
They don't.
This is not a podcast topic.
Hold
We're
on,
done.
18 to 25, that's children.
How long has it been?
You're 25.
They haven't
You are
drafted
now
me yet.
too old to be drafted.
Hey,
But they didn't draft me when I was 18.
Shelby, what about Shelby?
I was
We're not
a child.
talking about this.
I was a kid at 18. Thank you, Shelby, for being a Patreon supporter.
Mm-hmm.
You're the best. If you want to be a Patreon supporter as well, just go to the link in the description. We have exclusive content. We have pre-shows.
We do, yeah.
An exclusive podcast, like 20-minute to 30-minute pre-show every single week on the Patreon. We do watch parties. You guys do watch parties, so you like movie commentaries.
Once in a while, yeah.
And we're going to start ramping up even more. That's not all we have. We have the video archive version of the Midnight Special. We don't do that anymore, but we have tons of episodes, video versions of that you can go watch. There's more things. You get the podcast a week early. There's a lot of awesome things
And
over on Patreon.
if you haven't subscribed to the Patreon, be expecting that draft letter in the mail.
That's what I was saying. It's possibly going to... Well, never mind. I was going to go darker.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shelby. Thank you, Shelby.
We need people to help us storm Normandy Beach.
Yeah. Thank you, Shelby, for being a Patreon supporter. That's it, and we love you. And let's move on.
So there's a lot of different kinds of animation out there. You know, you got your claymation, you got your 3D animation, you got your 2D animation, you got your
Your
sketch
backstreet animation.
you
Dang.
got your
You covered it all. Next segment.
Yeah.
we got some animation styles. We're gonna break it down a little bit and talk about animation styles when you're watching cartoons, when you're watching anime, when you're watching
Non-live action content. That sums up
Sure.
animation. Non-live action content. Am I right?
Yeah.
Right.
Somebody drawing or creating something on a computer. I
Yeah,
guess.
so we got different tactics here, and we can kind of talk through, I guess, the different styles of each tactic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I don't understand why this is so troubling to you every time I zoom in.
It really, I don't know. Maybe it's the claustrophobic thing. You zoom in so much.
I don't know
So
why this
much.
is so troubling. Now we can read it. Okay, and the people at home can read it as well.
Sure.
All right, so I think we got, how many? We got 10 different types that we're going to talk through. So,
here, but we might come up with a couple more that aren't on this list.
So we're just exploring film design choices, creative outlets in the animated world. So the first one, we got 3D animation. That's the most obvious. That's Pixar. And it covers a lot more, actually. That's also Unreal Engine, you know?
Yeah.
Some of it.
Most of everything we see today that corresponds either just like full 3D, like Pixar animation, or like Frozen, Tangled, all those.
The 3D animation that I instantly think of is Bug's Life.
Bug's Life.
Bug's Life.
Now-
That's the first thing that comes to my
Pixar.
mind. Very, like, blocky, like, not a lot of texture to it.
Early Pixar and
Yeah.
Shrek too.
Right.
Shrek.
Early, we were getting into that early 3D animation with Shrek,
Right.
with ants.
But the reason you think
with,
the reason you think of that is because it went hand in hand with all the 2D animations from Disney. So you were thinking like oh, most movies are 2D, but then we get the 3D animation. It shows our age, the fact that you think of Bugs Life every time.
VeggieTales.
No.
Which was the first...
Christian 3D animation.
The first 3D animation.
That's not true.
No, that's
It
definitely
was
not
one
true.
of the first 3D animation.
One of the,
before
maybe,
Pixar,
but
before DreamWorks. It was one of the first.
One of the maybe, but
computer
I would
3D
say
animations.
in the beginning stages, but I wouldn't say the.
It was one of, yes, like the.
Okay, I'll let you say one of the.
And
do you remember?
And actually, the first on video 3D animation. That's a fact. I know it was the first on video 3D animation.
Well, the Christians were figuring some stuff out early. Now, do you remember? Do you ever watch? You remember the Gaithers? Mm-hmm. They had like a little really badly animated like fish in a pond. 3D animation story. Did you ever see that?
Yes.
The Gaithers would sing their songs and they would have like really bad 3D animated fish singing the songs. Oh, it was wild, man.
They just went to Fiverr and said, make me some animation.
Make me some 3D animations to match this. So,
or they went to the AI art and just said, frog singing our song.
But with 3D animation, it's come so far. We obviously see it in so many movies with live action. It's not just solely 3D animated. It combines with live action. Like I was saying, not just with the green screen and adding the elements like all the Marvels.
We still talking
but
about 3D?
Also,
But there's a lot to 3D because
3D there's the most to 3D.
nowadays we're not doing Shrek and we're not doing Bugs Life or Toy Story.
Incorrect, we are.
We are at times, but for the most part, we're doing cel-shaded 3D animation.
Okay.
Which is taking a 3D animation and making it look like a 2D animation.
Yeah.
Making it look like it's been drawn, giving it a toon style. So Arcane is cel-shaded. We just looked at the picture of Spider-Verse, cel-shaded.
Wasn't
to make
Puss
it
in
look,
Boots kind of that way?
Yeah. It's 3D, but to make it almost look like it's been painted or drawn.
Yeah, it's a specific style. But what I was saying, like with Unreal Engine, it's opening a world of 3D animation where now we use the volume or like what we saw with Dynamo Dream Mug Salad, where the whole use green screen.
Yeah.
Use green screen and everything else is using Blender or Unreal to create the world behind.
You can animate your entire background, which is basically
your entire
what
environment.
Marvel does nowadays.
Your entire environment in front of you, behind you, next to you. You know, Marvel does that pretty much exclusively. And but I kind of like the volume technology. If you're going to use a lot of animated thing, I think that's the most artistic way right now to combine complex 3D animation and that together.
It does look pretty good. Like that was in The Last of Us. I think one of the things I really liked about Last of Us, they did a lot of cityscape elements that felt very good and looked visually stunning.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys watch what was that 1899 on Netflix? Did you watch that?
No.
The same creators of Dark on Netflix?
No.
I haven't.
I know what you're talking about.
That whole movie, it's about it's kind of like a thriller, kind of psychological bending story. And it takes place on like this steamboat ship out in the middle of the ocean. The whole thing's filmed on the volume.
Wow.
The whole thing.
For real?
Yeah. And I didn't know it until after I watched the show, and I was like,
You think it's
"Dang."
expensive to film?
Oh yeah. Now it's
On the volume?
hold on.
That's why they're doing it.
It is.
Well, it's not as expensive.
It's
But I'm
cheaper
saying, like-
than flying everyone on location. But it is still wildly expensive just in general because it's still like you're probably still paying $150,000 a day.
Yeah, but you're just it overall it's cheaper.
It's
you're just
cheaper.
going to the volume set which is already there
Yeah.
and putting
You
your
have
background onto
your
it.
artists that are there manning the background.
That's why Disney can do these
And it's
Star
faster.
Wars show
It's
because
cheaper
it's faster and cheaper.
Yeah.
You don't have to fly an entire crew and cast and house them on location for like 4 months or whatever. Unlike Denis Villeneuve, they're out in the desert.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was just thinking, what if like the last season of The Chosen, they just like got some
volume action.
Volume.
Yeah.
I don't
That would
know.
be Cool.
I mean,
They're
I
already
would like
doing
that-
some pretty good animation.
I would like
in
them
that
to
show.
see. I would like to see them use the volume a little bit.
A little
But
bit.
for the most part, I like the realism grittiness. I
Yeah,
don't want it to like
they
change
put up-
aesthetic.
He's doing the gritty?
overnight.
They make sets and I like the way that looks. Using the volumes for specific scenes, like the way that they did with House of the Dragon.
No, yeah.
Scenes that are impossible to get, use the volume.
Now, The Chosen, interestingly enough, is actually using the same process they did for Game of Thrones, where everything's on set for the most part, except they have, like, for the dragons, they had, like, big green screen sheets where they're going to place the dragon in frame, and they do that for The Chosen as well.
It's pretty wild where the dragons and the Chosen.
Well,
The dragons were
Jesus fights that dragon. That's pretty crazy.
But
what?
so the next one's 2D animation.
Okay,
All
we
right.
kind of already talked about this a little bit.
2D is like the biggest one.
Old school
2D is
Disney.
the original.
Old school
Jungle
Disney,
Book.
almost all old school and a lot of new school anime is going to be 2D. And if you're familiar with Mappa Studios, who's doing a lot of the new anime TV shows and movies, they do a mix of a lot of 2D animation and 3D. If you watched the most recent seasons of Attack on Titan, your Titans are almost all 3D, while your human characters are going to be 2D, and the sets that they're in, the settings and backgrounds are going to be 2D.
Right. And do you think that, like, AI mapping, like we saw with Corridor Crew, do you think as that becomes more mainstream, using AI art to map, like, live recordings, is that going to fall under 2D, or is that going to fall under performance capture?
Performance capture,
probably. Yeah.
And it's going to get super easy.
Yeah, it's going to be more consistent.
You'll hit 3 buttons, put in your style, track your guy, and then it'll create it for you almost perfectly, and it'll be its own thing. It's gonna evolve into its own thing. It's not even gonna be copying other people's stuff anymore.
Get some of this stuff.
Some of this stuff. No, did you watch the Corridor Crew video?
My brother called me. He's like, "So when can you guys do that?" I said their computers. Their computers are so powerful that they're actually able to train them on faces and things. We don't have that kind of rendering power.
Yeah.
Well, we do. It's just wildly tedious. What they did in, like, I don't know, 3 months, it would take us 4 years.
We would hit
finish.
render, and it'd be like, this is going to be done in 5 months.
I would love to have a, like, motion capture animated turtle film where there's a guy, like, actually doing, like, stuff, and he's like one of the turtles fighting. That would be sick.
It, like in the last season of the Clone Wars with Darth Maul and Ahsoka fighting, that was performance capture. So they're in a room with the green screen and everything with the
bubbles,
the motion capture gear on them, and it's capturing all of their fights and movements. That would be cool if you did that with the turtles. It's like real stunt guys.
Yeah.
Doing all the moves for them.
Which the new TMNT is what we were talking about earlier.
Cell shaded.
It's cell shaded 3D animation to have the style of 2D or really dynamic 2D. You know what I mean? So, like, you know, traditional 2D looks more like Rick and Morty, where everything's kind of clunky and flat, whereas cell shaded looks like 3D just designed interesting. Like it has outlinings.
I love it. I love the way I like how Arcane is different than Spider-Verse and Puss in Boots and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
With
it's so cool.
Your base is 3D animated, and then you do styles on top of that.
Go watch some Love, Death, and Robots. You're gonna see some really cool cell shaded stuff.
And it's all over the place with Love, Death, and Robots.
And 3D and 2D.
Right.
Yeah,
you're gonna see some really awesome stuff.
Okay, so whiteboard animation. Let's see. Let me see if this takes us to it.
Whoa.
Zoom
out there, guy.
Okay, so whiteboard animation.
So you guys remember on YouTube when people
keep going.
You guys remember on YouTube when there was that big trend of like my life until this point, and it was all whiteboard drawn out, and it was all animated and stuff. That's what that is.
I gotcha. So it's
it's okay.
It falls close to like 2D animation.
Peter, I'm trapped in a whiteboard.
It falls into that category of kind of graphic design, which is animation but less animation. It's almost a different category, but it's still.
It doesn't have the same kind of uses as other animation. Right. This is really great for that YouTube kind of look.
Yeah. YouTube.
It's very specific.
You can get pretty viral with that style on YouTube, right? Let's see, typography animation. So this is literally graphic design. So it's motions using like you basically After Effects. You know what I mean? You can buy templates for your graphics. It's basically motion graphics. And that is technically animation, but this is stuff I can do. It's stuff we've done countless times. You know what I mean? A lot of people can do this. That's not as complex, but that is a animation style. It's motion pictures that aren't live action. Claymation.
This is a fun run.
Yeah.
Chicken Run.
Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We forgot the cheese.
Or some of that fake
Wait,
claymation.
what is that?
Flushed
Gromit.
away.
We forgot the cheese, Gromit. You remember?
Yeah. I
Wallace and
remember.
Gromit?
Yeah,
I remember
this?
that.
You guys remember? You Brits know. You guys know. You're with me.
Look,
No, I'm with you.
wasn't Flushed Away fake claymation?
Yes.
So Flushed Away is kind of that 3D claymation look
Yeah.
where we were
Pinocchio.
moving away from it. Yeah.
Pinocchio.
Well, Pinocchio was actually...
You talking about Guillermo del Toro's?
It wasn't claymation. It was 3D.
It was motion capture, claymation, and some 3D animation.
Less claymation.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's
what
not
I mean.
claymation.
It's not claymation, but they
No,
actually
yeah.
have physical puppets.
That's what I'm saying.
They have
It's
physical
not-
puppets.
It wasn't. It was kind of claymation.
It's
but
motion
no.
capture.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, them
Or stop motion.
that claymation food,
Ew.
that claymation food hits different.
Because it kind of looks like the little Krabby Patties you get in the small packets.
Yeah.
You guys ever
Kind of looks
watch
Play-Doh-y.
Shaun the Sheep? Shout out to Shaun. Let me know down in the comments if you guys watch Shaun the Sheep.
Shaun the Sheep, man.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
Yeah, we have a soft, warm place in our hearts for them claymation styles.
Mm-hmm.
Stop motion animations. This is what we were just talking about with
Guillermo del Toro.
He
Yeah.
just won one of the
Flushed
Oscars.
Away. Lego movie kind of look.
Oh, do you remember that little? We did a podcast about this. There was a little. It's an indie film about a Skellington guy, a puppet. I think he's a puppet, and he was. Oh, it's about a Skellington that was in stop motion movies, and then they stopped using him because animation progressed past his days.
Yeah.
and it was really well done. I gotta know what the.
No.
I gotta recommend it.
I-
Did you ever watch that?
It's gonna take you too long to figure it.
You would
find
love
it.
this. You would love this. Oh, we're not going to react to it here, but
Just go back and look.
let me Google it real quick.
He doesn't even know what it's called. He's just gonna.
I know
he's
how to
gonna
do it.
He's
search
gonna
for
find
it.
stop motion skeleton guy.
Stop motion skeleton short film. Motion skeleton short film.
Is it called is his name a Skellington?
No.
Skeleton.
Yes, it is. Rebooted.
Yeah.
Reboot.
Yeah, rebooted.
Yeah.
Watch
But he
Reboot
is
on
a
Netflix.
he is a skeleton,
Yeah, not
not a
skeleton.
skeleton.
I get-
Tim fed.
okay.
Awesome.
He-
Yeah.
I actually, we did a
really
podcast
cool.
about this a while ago. This is one of the best. If this is a full film, this would be better than Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Okay.
This is an extremely
Dynamic lighting.
well
I see.
done.
It won a
Let me
bunch
just
of awards.
let you preview it.
Building your online business?
Oh,
Everybody look.
commercials.
But
you guys
this is-
building your online business?
I am.
We are.
Hey, little
Hey,
secret. Wix is does our website. So let's just preview this a little
Okay,
bit.
so that's real. That's a guy.
That's real.
Skip forward to the guy. To the skeleton.
So this is him using
Oh,
stop
this is
motion.
like Perseus. This is the Perseus thing.
Right.
The original stop motion skeletons. They were like this.
Yes.
Sure.
So he's like a stop motion puppet.
Got it.
And then he loses his job because they no longer need him. Animation progressed.
Yeah, you guys saw that Clash of the Titans original. You remember what the skeletons are fighting Perseus?
I never watched.
Yeah,
it.
It's very stop motiony.
Yeah, it's that similar thing.
Very
you would love
cool.
this. You would love
Okay,
this.
we'll watch this whole thing. You guys go check out this video. Tell them Wiseworks sent you.
That's right. So the next one is what is it? The next one is traditional cell animation. What is
Okay.
this?
Click it. Oh, okay.
Oh,
So where you have a
yeah.
background, you draw the Pink Panther, and you put him over top of it.
Winnie the
Yeah.
Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, it's like 2D
Winnie
animation,
the
but you're using
Pooh.
multiple levels. One has motion, and the background is just
These are the
same.
original assets. Where
Yeah.
you would have an asset of a character, and move it through an environment that you could make up. That's why Winnie the Pooh walking on the log with, no, it was Christopher Robin and Mowgli. That's why they match up, because you can take that cell off and put it on another background.
Right. You didn't explain that. If you go on YouTube, just say Disney reusing footage, you'll know what he's talking about. Yeah, because they reused the same stuff.
That's what it is. It's one cell of motions, and they can put it onto anything.
Yes, and so like everything that they're animating is like the table, the cups, the chair, and the Pink Panther. Whereas all of this background, it just stays the same.
That's why if you're watching a cartoon and you see like a cup and it looks different than the background, you can always tell that cup is going to be broken or be smashed over.
Yeah, because he's going to interact with it. It's a prop. It's an animated prop.
And then rotoscoping animation does a similar thing.
And this is the one I made the poster for.
Yeah, with following physical people. So if you've ever seen Wizards, or if you've ever seen Fire and Ice, or the old Lord of the Rings animations, that's all rotoscoped.
I'm gonna see if I can show the. Is this how to do it, or is this actually a video?
No, that's Sam. What's his face who plays Darth Maul?
Yeah. Why the crap is this linked
I don't
to
know.
here? Whatever.
They're doing it for the lightsaber. Look,
What are you talking about?
Rotoscope
practice featuring Ray Park.
Oh no, I thought it said for lightsaber.
So
they were doing that with lightsaber.
You can go look up Fire and Ice behind the scenes, where they have people who are acting out the motions in the Fire and Ice movie, and then
it's very similar to performance capture.
What's his face? Like Frank Frazetta would, or the other guy I forget, would draw Ralph Balsky. Balasky they would draw the characters over top of the motions, and they would do it in cell format. So you'd have an individual person, you draw over them to create a cell, and then you draw the background.
It's like what they did with the AI art. It's kind of like performance capture, except you're turning performance capture into like exact 2D animated version.
It was the early performance capture, where you were having to follow the motions on a frame by frame basis,
instead
drawing each frame.
Avatar, which you use the emotion and performance to animate an entire new creature. You know what I mean?
You can buy them. You can go buy the cells for the original Lord of the Rings things.
We got two more. Flipbook. This is old Disney.
Yeah.
Flipbook is you have tons of pictures over and over again, and everything is
basic
unique.
2D.
Basic 2D. So, and everyone's done this at some point in their life, where they do like a little, 20-page
bow
animation.
and arrow stick guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody watched the Stickman animations. On you guys watch the Stickman fights?
Yeah.
And then you'd go draw your own little stick dudes fighting.
I bet we could probably bring that back on YouTube, where we start doing some fun, complex Stickman battles with flipbook animation. Wouldn't that be fun? That'd be a fun little video, and it can get pretty wacky. Yeah, that would probably go viral. I think we should try it out.
And really, all you'd have to do is take a blank book and flip through the pages like this, and then place your animation over top of it, like a cell.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's doing all the motions, but you animate those on a separate sheet beforehand, and then just do the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
For like an intro for a podcast.
And then it would,
maybe.
Ooh, that would be cool.
But I want a viral video. I want to put out a humongous like Stickman battle on YouTube. And
you could start
like
it
one
like that.
camera thing.
You could start it like a dude who's going through it, and then he picks up another one and goes through it, and then he picks up another one, and then eventually it just zooms in on the characters and not the person's hand in the book, and just shows the animation.
Nice. We should try it out.
We'll get somebody who can animate.
We don't have to animate. We can all draw, and I can put it together on an editor, on a timeline. We could do it. Puppet animation. And this is like kind of like Reboot. It's technically stop motion is also kind of puppet.
Yeah, it's not gonna be. It's gonna be more like Del Toro's thing.
Yeah, that's what Pinocchio was. It was puppet animation using stop motion.
Claymation.
Right. Yes. Yeah, it's not claymation.
Claymation, you can kind of mold them and everything.
And it's clay. It's
clay,
literal clay.
clearly.
It's stop motion with clay. Where puppet is most of the time stop motion with puppets.
It's kind of what we see from Will Smith these days. He's a puppet.
Why?
That's a good one.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Nice. Okay, so that's kind of what we wanted to cover, just to kind of get our feet wet to remind ourselves, there are many different kinds of styles, and there are different kinds of tactics to make a decision.
Watch some old stuff. Watch some of the old 3D. Watch some of the old animes, and you'll get like, wow, it's much different today. Now we have this kind of stuff.
Whoa.
Sick.
He
Even
uploaded
4K.
this as 4K.
Wow.
Let me drop it back down to 1080 so we can preview a little bit more.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And it's a whole story, I think.
We did this on the podcast before.
So it's
See, they're using performance capture
exactly.
instead of stop motion skeleton guy.
Yeah, as he picks up
He
his sword.
picks up a sword.
He's like, I can do
All right,
this.
don't spoil this.
Oh,
Stop.
look at him go.
Don't spoil it.
This is the director of the short film, by the way.
Don't spoil it. I want to watch this on my own
I interacted
time. I
with
don't want
him
to see
on-
it on this big TV with glare on it.
I interacted with him on Facebook to make sure he was cool with us playing the short film on our podcast.
That's awesome.
He said, yeah, do whatever you want.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
All right, let's take a break. All right, so that's animation.
Yep. So our next segment, we're going to be reviewing a film real quick.
Which freaking...
Wait. I got a whole transition for this. Let me introduce it. So we are going to be, what are we doing? I totally got lost.
You're not here today.
We're reviewing a film, not a short film. It's not a short film.
You want us
We're
to take this
reviewing
from
a
you?
film.
You want us to take it?
No, because I got
it. He's got it.
I got this.
He'll get there.
The name of this film is
Let him cook.
Dying of the Leaves. We're reviewing Dying of the Leaves. Go to Dying of the Leaves.
Hit it.
I've got a reason for this.
He's got a reason.
I've got a reason for this. So there's this film that DreamWorks, they're the ones who did this, right? I'm assuming. Okay. DreamWorks made a new film that came out not too long ago.
DreamWorks.
That follows a character, the main character, who has lost all his lives but one. So he's at the end of his life, and as he's doing his journey, as he has a journey,
This is a rough pitch.
This is a rough pitch.
If you're
yes.
pitching to Warner Brothers or, in fact, DreamWorks, they would be like,
The Grim Reaper
Get
is
him outta
following
here.
him throughout the movie.
Yeah, Death is chasing him.
Death
down.
is chasing him throughout the movie.
okay.
Death is
and
following him.
At the
trying
end
to-
of the
guess
movie, they
it's
have
this
a fight.
cat.
No, scroll to the next
That's kitty
page.
softballs, dude.
All right.
Haven't you seen
This
the
is
first
the Grim
Puss in
Reaper.
Boots?
No, okay, so you guys want to talk about this Puss in Boots film. I literally was going to watch it yesterday, and you didn't tell me we were going to talk about this. So now I'm unprepared. I'm ill-prepared. And I
Me
don't
and
know
Wyatt
what this film
watched
is about.
You watch Dying of the Leaves.
It's kind of Dying of the Leaves.
It's like our short film.
It's exactly
Except in-
you
no,
keep
there's a-
saying Dying
except-
of the Leaves, and nobody knows what you're talking
Except
about.
Instead of Calvin giving up at the end, he fights death off.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Oh. Except and replace Calvin with Puss.
Yes.
Puss in Boots.
Okay.
So we watched it, and I was like, we had this story years ago. We
Yeah,
had this
it's a pretty
first.
common thread.
And
It
if
is
you
pretty
want to watch
common.
Dying of the Leaves, it's like a short film I made back in like 2017, 2018.
17.
It's awesome.
Maybe 16,
It's
17.
a good film.
16, 17, 18. At the beginning of 18 is when it came out.
Okay, go to wiseworksfilms.com, hit the films tab, and it should be right there.
It's a good one.
Dying of the Leaves. It's like 50 minutes long. It's a short film we made. But so you're saying this is very similar,
So he
Very
realized,
similar.
or the
Puss-
overarching idea is similar.
The thing is, Puss realizes he's used up all his lives but one, and Death wants him. Death feels like he's been cheated because Puss like kind of worships his own legend, and Death is like, maybe I'll just take this one for myself.
Okay.
Maybe I'll have this. Maybe a little treat.
So let me ask: is this pre or other universe from Shrek?
This
same
is actually
universe. Yeah,
same
they-
universe.
they-
this is post Shrek.
Yeah, they
because
even talk about
they talk about it.
elements
They
and
have
stuff.
if you watch, they have kind of like a Hakuna Matata moment where him and Donkey and Shrek
Yeah.
are walking across a log. He's got like yeah, it's fun. And then at the end, there's a Shrek reference. But this is a good movie. I really liked this.
So when we watched
Everyone
it,
keeps saying that, and that's why I wanted to watch it.
we were talking about how it's very anime-esque. And that's, I think, why it got so popular. And people are like, it's actually really good. Is because it feels like you're watching an anime rather than just a movie.
Well, okay, so DreamWorks did The Bad Guys film, and that was really hard. Like what we talked about, what did you call it? 3D animation with
Cell shading?
Cell shading. That was like a really intense version of cell shading, like a different style. This is similar, but they backed off at a touch.
Yeah, they made this almost look more like a very, very detailed painting. So it's very obviously 3D, but as if it's been painted. Like Puss's fur looks painted. If you're seeing it on like much more clearly than this.
Which we give so much credit to Pixar, but we are always leaving out DreamWorks.
DreamWorks
They were
is
right
doing
there
some
with them.
serious stuff.
They were right there with them, and DreamWorks has always
No,
been,
we talked about. He said Shrek at the beginning when we were
Shrek.
talking about animation. I
Yeah.
said Bugs Life, and he said Shrek.
I'm just saying, as a culture, we
Even
love the DreamWorks
Prince of
films.
Egypt before the big studios were doing 3D.
right.
Prince of Egypt,
Prince of Egypt was
you
good.
had a lot of
Eldorado.
3D elements. El Dorado, yeah.
Very good stuff.
Deliver us.
So we talked about this movie and we said that it's very appealing to kids, and I would say also it's fun for adults. At no point was I really bored watching this movie.
Okay.
And as a kid, this would have been my favorite movie because there's an overabundance of action.
Nice.
So much action. It's very fun. They hit some emotional beats, and then they wrap up those emotional beats. They don't leave them hanging. And there's a lot of stuff happening in this movie. It almost gets overwhelming. Like it
Okay.
could have got overwhelming, but the way that they wrap up all of the stories is nice.
Any more Zorro references?
A lot.
Plenty.
Yeah.
Plenty
Plenty
of
of
him
Zorro.
scratching the pee into the stuff.
Nice. That's so much fun. I love it. I want to watch this really bad now, and I was gonna watch it. I can't believe you guys went ahead and watched it. Didn't tell me about it. Now
Well,
we're talking
I
about
wasn't.
it.
Like, Josh just came home and turned it on one day.
And you got to sit there and let him.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want you to spoil it for anybody listening. Besides just a hard recommendation, that's what you're basically saying.
We gonna say it's a better than Dying of the Leaves version?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Wait,
We established this watching the movie.
This is a better version of Dying of the Leaves. If you saw
What's
Dying
wrong
of the
with
Leaves,
Dying of the
you saw
Leaves?
And
this.
nothing. I love it. I do. I really like Dying of the Leaves.
okay.
As a concept, it's a good concept.
I would do it so differently today. My goodness. Sometimes I'm cringing hardcore at Dying of the Leaves because I'm like,
Yep.
But there's some really good moments in Dying.
there
of the
are
Leaves.
good moments. And Jamark helped me write the script, and
And
it's
you can-
original.
but you can
the
tell
story's
it's-
original with you
It's
guys.
some early filmmaking, and that's fun. That's
and
good.
it was many steps past like Path to Crimson, which is one of the bigger films I did previous to that. So it made more progress there. Path to Crimson. Is
Each
a
step.
cringe fest.
Yeah, but wasn't the
Path
hype
to
between the
cringe.
two?
The hike was between those two. Yeah, the Path to Cringe. That's but it's all on the website if you guys want to see some of our earlier films. Okay, I'll watch this. I might watch it today. Well, maybe not today. I'll probably watch it at some point. I'll watch it.
Okay.
And you have one more thing you want to talk about, I guess.
I mean, this is a regular segment.
For you.
We'll just go through this month's what's coming out.
Right.
What's
So,
cooking?
what's cooking? What is everyone about to see?
Wait a minute. As you pulled this up on the big screen, I just noticed his tie. That is awesome.
Oh, it's an hourglass
I
and
didn't-
bullets.
I did not
And
notice
a
that until you
tie.
pulled it up, and that is sick.
time.
pretty cool.
Time is running out.
No.
That is a little stretch, a little much of a stretch, but that is cool for the poster.
Time is running out.
That's a really cool
Nice.
poster. Yeah.
Okay, so what we got stuff coming out March and April in theaters for people to know
Jimmy and
about.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Nice.
March 20th.
Yeah.
Brother in Blues. Brothers in Blues.
You can kind of scroll through this.
Okay, Children of the Corn. Didn't know anything about that, but that says 2020, so it might be a re-release.
Yep.
Any what is this? Does that say furries?
Furries?
Hold on, what is this? What?
Furies?
Fear? I guess maybe it's Furies.
Gosh,
Yeah.
we had a really hard Stranger Things look here.
Yeah, it
Blue
looks
and
like
red.
looks like the Japanese might
It
be
red
looks
neon.
like is it a Korean film?
Who knows?
Criminal gang that abuses females. 3 lady warriors risk everything to challenge this corrupt empire.
Oh, that sounds like a good wholesome film.
Yeah. Let's go back.
All right, so
John Wick.
we got John Wick 4 is coming out in March 24th. And then
with our boys, Donnie Yen, Bill Skarsgård.
right,
Sick.
right. And that's the big film of that weekend. And then past that, the next weekend is a Doctor
Who
Who
Am I?
Who Am
It's a
I?
documentary.
Oh, but it also came out in 2022.
Yeah, I think they're re-releasing stuff. All right, March 31st,
Dungeons
and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. That's going to be I think a fun one. If you don't take if you don't take it too seriously, I think you'll have fun.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it yet, but what I saw, I think this will be fun for people who try not to take it too seriously.
If you still like Wizards of the Coast, you might like this. Did you guys see the new Magic the Gathering cards with Aragorn?
No.
Black Aragorn?
No.
There's a Black Aragorn?
Yeah.
Magic. Can I Google it?
Yeah, look it up. Black Aragorn.
Let's see. Is Aragorn?
Look up Black Aragorn. Yeah, Aragorn.
Magic the Gathering?
Magic the Gathering. It's Aragorn and Arwen. It's wild.
Yeah, right there.
Right there.
Right here.
Yeah, click it. Isn't that wild?
That's funny.
I
do see Vigo
He was.
as...
I guess he was just the right guy for the job, and no other agendas here.
A lot of people are seeing this. A lot of people are talking about this.
I heard somebody say, "Is Aragorn standing behind that dude?"
Oh gosh. My
Click
goodness.
on right here, dude. This is a clear picture.
That one. That one. This one.
Every other one.
Every
but
other-
This
yeah.
one.
Wild.
Okay. Interesting.
Pretty
Don't know
crazy.
why they chose that, but okay.
Lord of the Rings fans were upset when Aragorn had a small beard, like stubble in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
You think they're gonna change this much, and then everyone's gonna be
Nobody's
chill.
gonna buy this.
Probably not.
Let's get back to what we were talking
Right.
about.
So we got Dungeons and Dragons coming out March 31st, and then
A lot of
Hold up.
stuff coming
Bruce
out.
Willis is going to be in a movie. Is this his last movie?
Assassin.
it probably
Maybe.
is.
This is... Let's give some stuff to
This is
Bruce
probably
Willis.
A man
filmed.
dies as part of an experimental military program. A former Black Ops soldier takes his place to find who killed him.
I have a feeling that this is going to be bigger than it deserves to be.
Probably.
Because this might be Bruce Willis's last film. Not because he was probably filming this as he was getting ill.
Mm-hmm.
So this is probably going to actually get a lot of recognition. Assassin. A lot of other films. Does it say Acid Man?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just
Acid Man.
remember on Rick and Morty. I'm acid proof.
Acid proof.
Okay, another. So getting into April,
Miracles at Manchester looks interesting.
you think?
No.
No.
Family?
It's,
What is it? Dean.
Super Mario Bros.
Super Mario Bros. April 5th. That's going to be the big and Air.
And
Air. That same weekend, and then Paint is coming out April 7th.
Biggest movie of the early part of the year, I think, goes probably to Mario Bros. I think it's going to be
Probably.
huge.
It's
Going
going
to make so much money.
ginormous, and it's going to be fun probably.
Yeah.
And then one thing we don't ever really talk about, like demon movies,
movies.
horror movies, too much. The Pope's Exorcist. I saw the trailer for this.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like a wild ride. This looks really
Crowe.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's got
Russell Crowe.
I'm just saying, this looks like it's in the horror genre. This is going to be big next to The Conjuring and Hereditary.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is going to be a big deal. So if you like the horror genre, keep an eye out for The Pope's Exorcist coming out April 7th, along with Paint. And those are the big ones. So
Oh, just scroll down a little bit
March
more.
and
'cause
April's got a few big releases.
We're not quite to where we are. We're doing about a month out.
Okay.
Renfield
Renfield.
is
Yeah.
coming out on the
Yeah,
14th.
This is a vampire comedy. And
Sweetwater. Once upon a time in Ukraine.
Is that it?
That's
We got to get to 30-second stories.
Oh yeah, that is the thing. isn't
Yeah,
it?
well,
Okay,
let's
that's
roll
good.
out. If you haven't seen any of these, all of these that we mentioned are probably either coming to theaters or already still in theaters. So
It's weird. There's not a lot coming out that's recognizable, even though April, May is when they have their big release for the year. If either now or
Christmas.
December.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of movies in between there that we didn't mention that
Because
could be sleeper hits.
Maybe
Sleeper
We may come back
could be.
3 months from now,
Could be
or
Silent but
even next
Deadlies.
year. We'd be like, we saw this when we were looking through the movies, and then
Assassin.
we watched it, and it was incredible. It was amazing.
Assassin was probably awesome. So let's do 30 seconds. I think it's my turn.
Oh, that's why he remembers. Let's.
We gotta wrap up. Bro. How long have we been going? A minute.
Wrap it. Oh,
No,
never
not
mind.
even. Just over an hour.
Just over an hour?
Just a little bit over an hour.
Why does it
Not
feel
like a
like a
ton over an hour.
Okay.
I got it. Stopwatch.
All right. I'm ready. Give me my prompts.
Oh, you want me to go first? Macaroni and cheese and a sword.
A sword?
Sword.
I'm gonna say.
I always pick food. I don't know why. Huh?
New car. And time travel.
Dang. All right, give me a few. A little.
I'll give you a little
pause.
bit before we give you the 10 seconds.
Okay, time travel, new car. I got it. Shish.
What is that noise?
Okay. Are dukes Italian?
Duke?
Is a duke an Italian thing?
It's just it's just a noble.
Oh,
It
it's
could
called
be
a dawn.
Italian.
A dawn is Italian. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I got
Or
it.
Spanish.
Give me 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Go.
Okay. Much farther into the future, there's an Italian boy who's like, and the time travel exists, but only through like cars, like we see from Back to the Future. His great grandfather has a sword that's been in the family, but he wanted to go ahead and get it because it never made it to him in the lineage. So he goes back in time to get this sword, and his old grandfather said, we have to do a mac and cheese bake-off. Pasta bake-off in order to see who wins and gets the sword. And the story you have to watch the film
Good.
to see who won the bake-off.
You had all of the points before
30.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
That's all that
Very
matters.
good.
That was a whack. That had a whack.
I combined sword,
Yeah.
mac and cheese, time travel,
This
and
feels
car.
like a cartoon.
Yeah.
This feels like
It
a
feels
fun.
like an
It
anime.
sounds like a Rick and Morty episode.
Yeah, this is an
this feels
anime.
like a fun kids 3D cell shaded cartoon.
Right. And see, I did it.
Maybe.
I did it. I
And
did.
his name is Papino.
Papino. That's right.
Papino.
Yeah.
Papino, and he make the mac and cheese.
Papino.
And I have a sword for the family.
And he goes back in time.
He has a car. A carro.
It's one of those little bitty. What are they? What are
Smart
the
cars?
tiny? No, like the little tiny Fiats, the Italian.
Yeah. Or like a little Italian horn. Just a
Ding
little
ding 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 ding.
I had to do my taxes.
I gotta go see my daughter.
I gotta take it.
Nope.